Okay. Our next speaker is James Isilay, but apparently he is absent for the moment. But we'll make use of this time just the same. We're fine. We got a microphone. We got a stage. We got nice people here. Let's just out of curiosity, can we get some information about you folks and where you're from? May I ask where are you from and who do you work with? Yeah. Yeah. Tell us where you're from. Who do you work with? While we're waiting for James, we'll hear about some of the people.
I have to say in Silicon Valley, this always worked. You go in the second row or the first row, and then by the end of the presentation, they think they know you, and you exchange business card, and it's just fantastic. I am Sylvie. I'm founder of New Dawn, and we're doing a digital platform to create roadmaps that will simplify complexity. We're in stealth mode, so you have not heard about us. And I'm scouting our CEO, 6 months from now, and keeping an eye on the pulse of the industry, and I'm delighted to meet you.
So are you scouting for a CEO or you're scouting for your CEO? For your CEO, okay, good. Anyone else want to come and tell us their story, what they're doing here? Any brave souls? This person's smiling. Do you want to come up and tell us who you're with? Hopefully James Isilay will get here in just a second. Who knows where he's absent from? Sure.
So I'm Clara, working for a company called OnScale in growth. So trying to scale a small startup. That's a good challenge, but pretty enjoying the ride right now. So cool.
So this is really the talk for you. You're enduring the challenges of trying to scale up and build your company out. You're doing everything. So I don't know, you can't hear from down there, but she said they're so small that they're focused on prioritizing and just trying to figure that out. I think James is here. Is that James? All right, good. I was going to start breaking out my stand-up comedy material, but I think we're over there. Listen, everybody give James Isilay a welcome.
Hi, everybody. Great. Oh, is there a clicker? There we go, great. Great. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I got the time slightly wrong. Hi, everybody. Yes, so my name's James Isilay. I'm the CEO and founder of Cognism, and this talk is startup to scale up, avoiding a scaling crisis. So this talk's really about mentorship, because I think this is like one of the most important topics in terms of preparing yourself as a founder to scale a company and to make sure that that it's a smooth journey for you as an individual as well, and that yeah, for me, mentorship's like the key to all this. So just if you're not familiar with Cognism, we're a B2B sales intelligence company. So we help sales teams with data and tooling so that they can build pipeline for their sales teams, outbound pipeline mainly. But now we offer products and enrichment so that we help marketing with speed to lead, so that they can ensure that inbound leads are actioned really quickly, and help to really generate pipeline from data already inside your CRM. So we really help build pipeline so that you can create sales. We're currently actually more like 79 million AR now, so we've grown it from 0 AR to 79 million. Started the company in 2017. Originally, we were a fintech company, and then we pivoted in sales and marketing, which I knew nothing about the space whatsoever before. I was a trader and a programmer. So this was a whole new field for me, and I've learned it from scratch. So yeah, I think like one of the biggest benefits I had from starting this company was the fact that I knew nothing about the industry. So I actually knew that I knew nothing, and had to like learn everything from scratch. So I think like going in with that approach, instead of an approach that I thought I knew everything about the market, was very, very helpful throughout the whole journey, because I've always looked for mentors and always looked for information to get to the next level. So just a quote from Socrates: true knowledge exists if knowing that you know nothing. And I think if you approach startups and building companies in that way, you're going to be more successful. I think building a company in 2024, particularly in 2024, 2025, is nothing like building a company in 2017. There's some things the same, but there's a lot of new technology. There's a lot of things changing, and you need to keep on staying on top of that to survive and to build a high growth company. So yeah, seeking wisdom is really important throughout the journey. So this presentation is really about that, and about like how I built, how my mentorship evolved as we scaled the company. This is also some key stats that are really important. So 72% of founders report that the entrepreneurial journey affected their mental health. 37% report suffering from anxiety and 36% from burnout. The average level of loneliness among CEOs and founders is reported to be 7.6 out of 10. Like the other thing is, if you're a founder, it is an incredibly lonely journey. There's usually not many people to speak to. Like my own co-founder had to take a break last year and change step roles down into a different role because he just, again, like it wasn't for him managing large groups of people, and he moved into an innovation role. And you see a lot of founders like burn out. Like it just should be something that we talk about as founders, is that it's an incredibly difficult, stressful job. You're under pressure from investors if you took money. You're under pressure from employees to pay you more. There's pressures from lots of different directions. You usually don't have anybody to talk to. So it's really important to get mentors. You have people to speak to, and it's really important for me also to join CEO networks and things, so you have people that are going through the same challenges or a challenge above you. It's just, you need to split out that time, and you need to give yourself the headspace so that you can think through these problems. So support is really important in terms of like balancing all these different aspects: family, health, wealth, and career. Like making sure that you have people that help you sort through those different problems, those different aspects of your life. It's like a chair. If you like neglect one element of that, the chair will break, and you'll break and fall down, because like all these elements like tie together, so that you can kind of stay focused on as a CEO founder and keep building the company. So like I think like that's super important. When I was starting out actually one of the things that helped me in 2016 is I had a friend, Usman Khan, who'd started his own company, which was called Alchemy, and he gave me, like, said he would fund me to start my company, and that kind of gave me the early stage push. And then right from the very beginning, I had somebody that was ahead of me, Usman, who was giving me advice, and I went to his offices. I saw they just raised a Series A. There was a great energy in the room, so I kind of felt like that excitement. And then I had another friend, Declan, who was that kind of conservative investor that you'll get, it was good to get a taste of that at a very early stage. He was just asking questions all the time, complaining about performance, like just on a daily basis, wanting updates. So again, it was like the two types of investor: the conservative investor that's always just after their cash and hassling you all the time for the performance and money, and the optimistic investor that's really giving you encouragement and giving you the positive energy. So it was good to have that at the very beginning, because you need to kind of deal those two different types of investor and learn how to deal with them. This is like my network now. So I have like a wellness coach, Harold, who's from Belgium, who helps with anything life-wise and thinking through life and life problems. A wealth advisor, Dario, because I managed to luckily take secondaries a couple of times, and so you get a lot of money. And when you have money, then there's a lot of pressures that come from that, from people asking you to invest in stuff and you managing your wealth and all that, and that sucks more of your time away. So again, it was good to have somebody deal with all those problems. I have Katie Trost. She's an amazing CEO coach. I'd really recommend her. She runs a network called Pera, and she's been amazing at helping us with company values, OKRs, and helping me with advisory on how to deal with my C-suite executives and dealing with all the different types of personality that you get as you scale, and dealing with all those challenges you get when you have C-suite members that don't scale. So she's been fantastic for dealing and having somebody to talk to through with those problems, because she's got, you know, maybe 50 plus CEOs in her network. So she's seen lots of problems at all different scaling stages, and she's seen lots of different issues with team scaling. Peter Defrin is my CEO mentor. So he'd had several successful exits. He worked for NetSuite, Crystal Decisions, and so he's been at companies that have exited hundreds of millions in revenue, billions with NetSuite, and done lots of big M&A deals, dealt with lots of very difficult C-suite, and has been giving me key bits of advice in terms of how to hire that have helped me at each different challenge stage. And then I've got our investor network. So we have like really good investors now, like Boulderton, Peakspan, GIC. Like Boulderton and Peakspan have operating networks. So if I want an expert in product, I want an expert in finance, they have people from some of the top SaaS companies that I can just go and set up a call with and go through a key problem with them. So all of that helps with me with the specific challenges I have, and having all these different people to bounce them off, both in my life, like personal life, like internal in the company, or challenges that the company has. So as you go through the scaling, like, you know, I've split this into the different stages of the journey. This was there's a link there to the slide I pulled this from. There's the founder stage, which is a kind of early stage, like where you're dealing with like, I guess, product market fit, just setting up your basic infrastructure, all that. Team, when you're building out team, so you've got the product, work management, operations to deal with, and learning all that. Team of teams, where you've got then, how do you coordinate more, how do you get investment, how do you build organization and culture, and then enterprise, like when you get into like far bigger issues, like when you're in the 100+ employees, governance, risk, information management, architecture. So as a founder, you've got to learn all this. If you assume you don't know it, and then you're going out on a voyage to discover this, what I do, I actually, both in my personal life and in the company, is I have operating manuals. I have an operating manual for me, and I have an operating manual for the company. And every year I revise these to like make sure that I have best in class knowledge in each aspect of my life on the personal operating manual and on the company, so that again, like, I'm learning and making sure that, you know, I'm doing the best I can for a company that now is, closing in on 100 million in AR. Like, what do I need to do on a per department basis to make sure that I'm building in best practice and best knowledge and have the best people running those departments, right? So, and that I've got the best mentors and people to speak to on those subjects. I mean, the people that I'm speaking to now at this scale are not, I wouldn't have been very useful at an earlier scale. And the people that were very good at an earlier scale and not very useful now at the larger scale. So you need to keep on evolving your mentorship network. And you'll see that in the next couple of slides. So this was a good slide. Again, there's a link there to like points of inflection, like when you hit like scaling crisis. So, you know, for like, less than $1 million AER, like 1 to 3 employees. Again, at the end of that, you'll hit a scaling crisis. So you can see like the different points. And I'd say like we hit scaling crises at these points as well, but I had really good mentorship, good mentors. So we kind of smoothly got through these because I had really good advice at the different stages and managed to like plug the gaps or plug the issues that we had. And so you can see that in our AERs being very, very smooth. And I think it's because I had really good advice at the different stages. Right at the very early stage, I had Tom James, who was an angel investor who had a great exit from his own company. Mark Taylor. I didn't know anything about B2B, outbound or data or anything like that at all. So Mark Taylor was an angel investor who ran a B2B marketing agency. So he came, as an advisor, he brought in all of that knowledge about like how to do email verification, like all the things I didn't know anything about. Like he was a great angel investor to plug that gap. So again, when you look for angel investors, it's great to find somebody who is already in your industry and add that person in, because they again, and then just have regular weekly meetings to get asked their advice on everything. And then we brought Nick Keating in, who was a great, he'd worked for a company called Maximizer that had sold to Oracle. And he brought in all the go-to-market expertise. Like the first 2 sales hires I made were terrible, like really bad. And then Nick brought in like a good process to do hiring of salespeople and hiring of customer success people. So all of that kind of like, you know, I was like more of a technical, I'm the CEO, but like I was a programmer by background and then a trader. I hadn't hired salespeople before. I hadn't hired CS people before. I hadn't hired marketers before. The first time I hired any of these people, the people that I hired were awful because I didn't know how to hire them. I didn't even know what I was looking for. Like now I know what a good salesperson looks like, what a good CS person looks like. But when I started the company, I had no idea. And then as you scale as well, a good CS person or a good salesperson at 1 million AR is very different to a really good salesperson at 10 million AR plus. So again, it's like as you scale, you really need to be able to know what that talent looks like and where you can find the best talent, and then how you attract the best talent and what they're looking for to join your company. So again, like these advisors were very key for me to understand at that 1 million AR scale who I could hire and what good looked like at that level. Yeah, as we got bigger, Peakspan came in. They were our first investor. Peakspan again was very interesting how they found us. That we'd had one employee who was awful. Again, one of my first bad hires, who just left loads of bad Glassdoor reviews about us. So I'd then put in a process to get the staff to put in good Glassdoor reviews, and then also then created processes for customers to put good G2 crowd reviews in. And Peakspan had a system of trawling through all the reviews and finding good companies that way. And because we had put that process in place, they found us, and then they came and invested. And they came in with a great operating partner network. So Peter Defron, who then became our chairman, he's now our chairman, and then was my advisor, he was one of their operating partners. So they had lots of experts I could tap on customer success, on sales, that would then give me really good advice about like who to hire. They also showed me where I could raise additional money from. So yeah, that was again that level, tapping those advisors, and making sure that we had the right talent and that we were also scaling and investing. One of the big things I decided to do here is just make sure that we spent money on the best tooling. Like we bought Salesforce, we bought the best sales tools we spent, and that really helped us with scaling as well. Like we didn't hit issues later on when we got to like 50 million AR because we had the best Salesforce set up at that time, and it meant we didn't hit a brick wall when we scaled. And that was from advice I'd got earlier on at this level about like what I needed to build so that when I hit 50 million AR plus, we would have all the systems in place so we didn't hit a brick wall. So again, planning and making sure that we had the right advisors. Peakspan brought in this expert network. One of the great things they do is every single week they do webinars for their portfolio companies with the best experts in the world on a range of topics: finance, CS, sales, marketing, and then all of our employees are invited to those. And so that's been great for knowledge sharing in the company. They've got great operating partner network, great, all the webinars that they've ever had are recorded in masterclasses, and then they're always there for support, financial planning. Katie came on in about 10 million AAR plus. So she came in and helped develop all our company values, developed all of our OKR processes, helped do all of our offsite work. Again, it just took we didn't have any of that knowledge in-house. You could read it in books, but like to pull it together in a process is painful. She's just done it for, dozens of probably like 100 plus companies she's done it. So she's just an expert in it. So again, bringing that advice in, and then she's been a great, we do regular bi-weekly sessions where I bounce some of the problems in the company off of her, and she's just seen so many problems before. It just helps with solving those problems and carrying on. The company values bit is really important. I mean, there's lots of books on this, but like I can't emphasize it enough, like how company culture really, once you set company values and you really like actually build them into your processes in the company. When you onboard people, every couple of weeks, I do a session with all the new employees, and I take them through the company values myself. I welcome them to the company on a Zoom call, and this has really helped with, like, even when I take my staff out to like President's Club, we went to Ibiza. The waitress at the nightclub came to me at the end and said, "Your staff are so nice." Like, we get that comment all the time because our number one value is be nice. And everybody in the company has that kind of like be nice value, and it creates a really nice place to work. And so all of these values drive behavior in the employees, and so they've been really key for us. We're about to just revise this a little bit, but this has been the fact that so often people come up to me outside of the company, or new people coming into the company and say, "Everybody in this company is so nice." It showed the impact of actually setting that as the core number one company value. So we do town halls regularly, like I used to do it every month. We've slowed the kind of, actually we're moving back to a month again now. So we do this every month where we go through the wins on the team, we go through how each department's doing, we go through our objectives, the mission, the core OKRs, just to get everybody set on the direction we're going and make sure everybody's like bought in. So that's a really key part of of what we do, of creating a great company culture. Recently, in the last round, when we just went over 50 million AR, Boulderton came in. They're a great European VC, and then GIC, which is GIC and Viking, are kind of coming in recent rounds. Boulderton though is particularly good in that they have, like Peakspan, but at the next level, they have a really good operating partner network. So they bring in all of these additional support mechanics, amazing experts. Like, they have like some of the top experts in marketing. So again, we've gone to them with lots of our kind of like challenges with scaling or to find key people when we're doing key hires. They have a fantastic event where they take all the founders, which was just in Spain, where we did a lot of education and classes, and they have like a leadership courses as well for me to scale as an ex-leader. So again, like, all of this has been really fantastic for scaling. Slides a little bit off, but these are all the C-suite leaders that we have now. Like, I've done in the last 2 years, I've done a lot to revise the C-suite and get it all to the next level. And this again is like helps us with very smooth scaling. Like, Rob just joined us. He was at NetSuite and Leather. He was like a sales leader I couldn't have got until we got over like 50 million AR. Adam just joined us from Phenom. He's like rocketed our product function. Again, this type of leader I couldn't have hired until we got to like 50 million AR. So again, it's like revising the leadership and talent that you've got and using your mentor networks to be able to find those leaders and to know who to hire. And again, every time we brought somebody in legal or product or marketing, they've accelerated the function once they've integrated with the culture. So that's why it's really important, again, to the link between culture and people and mentorship is there's a really strong link between getting all three right. So yeah, just key takeaways. So really know what you don't know, and make sure that you're bringing mentors in to fill the gaps. Nurture your support network as a founder. Like, make sure that you've got support on all elements of your life, because you're going to be extremely busy. So again, like, don't neglect your personal life or wealth management or your mentor networks, or your personal stuff. Like, make sure you've got support on all elements, and that will help you continue to scale and not burn out. And then tie it all together with like cultural alignment of the company. Like, make sure that your values as a founder are ingrained in the company, and that you're bringing employees on that have the same values as you as a founder, and that those values are really being like advocated and pushed inside the organization, and you take people out of the organization that don't share the company values. Like, you don't want, even if they're high-performing people, if they don't share your values, they need to leave the company to create like a smooth journey and to make the place a fun place to work. So that's it. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Oh, we don't. Okay. Okay. But are you around? Yeah, I'm around. So feel free to connect to me on. Oh, this is one link. Founders Mental Health Pledge. I'll just put that up. It's an organization in the US you can connect to if you're a founder. And there's my LinkedIn. So feel free to connect to me and ask me any questions. Thanks a lot.
Mental health is. I've talked to a lot of founders about mental health. It's a huge issue. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.